All right, folks, let's get in it, but not to win it, because we're about to lose. Oh, Lord have motherfucking mercy. DeSantis says that Florida will pay police officers $5,000 to relocate if they've been fired from a vaccine mandate. Let's read. Police officers across the country were among the first to become eligible to receive the coronavirus vaccine, but some are still declining the shots, leaving them clashing with city leaders as immunization mandates go into effect. In Chicago, days before police officers were due to report their vaccination status following a citywide mandate, the head of its police union urged officers to ignore the deadline and, quote, hold the line. Folks, I need y'all to understand. There is no good cop. I've spoken to police officers and I ask them, have you ever arrested anyone for marijuana possession? Sometimes they say, well, I have to. It's the law. I'm here to keep the peace. I'm here to follow the law. I'm here to enforce the law. If you've ever sent someone to jail or given them a criminal record for marijuana, you are an evil person. It doesn't matter what the law is. As we're finding out right now, the law is irrelevant. If they can all decide unilaterally to just not enforce laws, then why are they still arresting people for marijuana? It's because they like it. They like the power tripping. They like to feel like they can push people. They like to brutalize people over stupid shit. They love to enforce dumb laws. It's not about the law. It was never about the law. It's about power. It's always been about power. Thousands of Los Angeles Police Department employees say they'll seek vaccine exemptions after police officials filed a federal lawsuit against the city over vaccine and mask mandates. At least 150 officers, the Massachusetts Police Union recently reported, have resigned or submitted paperwork to do so over the state's immunization requirements. In the last week, the president of New York City's largest police union said it plans to sue Mayor Bill de Blasio for requiring all city employees to get their first vaccine doses before November 1st. It was never about public safety. It was never about keeping the peace. It was never about law enforcement. They become police because they want to feel better than the everyday citizen. They want to feel like they are superior. They are fascists. Every single police officer is a Nazi. Zero exceptions. Because the ones who behave like people that would not be Nazis are the ones who are fired. Like I covered last week, a story of a police officer leaking internal documents showing police brutality and racism, and then they got fired. Right? I've covered stories of cops going to protests and then, supporting the protesters, and then boom, they're fired. Right? This is the theme that happens all the time. The quote-unquote good cops aren't cops for very long, if ever at all. The cops, the police, as an institution, self-select for people that would be excited at the prospect of an Adolf Hitler too. Right? In 1937, you know where they would be? They would be lining up to become Nazi officers and officials, because that is the mindset of a police officer. You cannot convince me otherwise, because if you're going to try to do so, you're a fucking clown, you're a loser, and you need to go the fuck outside and speak to everyday random people that actually have to deal with police. 90%, now this is a statistic I'm making up, right? But so let's just say, most people who support police are people that don't have to interact with police. If you never interact with police, then you might love them. But if you do interact with police, then you're going to know that they've got shit sticks up their assholes and they're no fun to be around. Again, it's never about public safety. Never. I don't give a shit what this guy has to say, but it's never been about public safety. It's never been about enforcing the law. It's always been about power. It's always been about abusing people. It's always been about feeling like, oh, I want to kill people and get away with it. if you look up, right, like a list of the most world-renowned serial killers, think about it. Did those lists include police officers? No. Why? Think about the kill counts that cops have that get covered up all the time. Well, again, I always cite this. George Floyd's original police report. A man died of a medical incident. Derek Chauvin got an extra kill and then reported it as if he didn't do anything because that's how they get away with it. How many people did Derek Chauvin kill before George Floyd? Think about this. When you look up world-renowned serial killers, mass shooters and their kill counts, where are police on those lists? They're non-existent because they get away with it. It's not viewed as murder when a cop does it. And so they just fly under the radar as the world's largest group of serial killers.